Hey, my name is Marco Farah, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the criminal process here in Florida. Now, I do a couple different areas of law, but one of the areas I do specialize in is criminal defense, particularly with Floridian crimes. You get arrested, or you find out that there is a warrant out for your arrest, or the police are looking for you to arrest you. Now, what I'm about to give you is just a general summary of the criminal process. But in every step of these proceedings, if you have a good attorney, there's something they can do to try to stop the process or make the process better for you. At that point in the proceeding, attorney can get involved, try to speak to the detective, try to speak to the person looking for you, and try to convince them why you don't need to be arrested, why no crime occurred. But let's say you get arrested. Let's say the warrant's out, you surrender yourself to police. What's the next step in the process? Well, typically speaking, you're going to go into what's called first appearances. Occur typically within 24 hours of your arrest by law. Sometimes it might be a little longer, but typically within 24 hours, you're going to be in front of a judge to find out what your conditions of release are. Now, these are going to be very different depending on what kind of crime you're charged with. If you're charged with something very minor, it may be the kind of thing the judge just wants a couple $100, $500. But if you're charged with something serious, it can get more and more difficult. And having an attorney there is important because they will make sure that bail is an amount you can afford, or those conditions of release are things that you can comply with, and make sure to make the process as easy as possible and to get you out of jail. After first appearance, if you're able to bond out, you're going to be out, you're going to get a new court date. All right, during this next court date, you're going to have what's called the arraignment. The prosecutor's office is going to try and determine if they're going to charge you or not. You'd be surprised, but a lot of people that get arrested don't actually end up with charges filed. There may be a number of reasons why the prosecutor may decide not to file charges. And that's another reason why having a good attorney is extremely important during this procedure. A good attorney will be speaking to the prosecutor. A good attorney will know the prosecutors already, know what they're looking for, and work his best, or her best, to make sure that this process ends, if possible, in a method favorable to you without charges being filed. No charges were filed, you're done, you're free, you're good to go. If charges are filed, then the next step is the judge is going to give you a trial date and typically what's called a pretrial conference or sounding date. The sounding date is a date for the parties, you, your attorney, and the prosecutor to meet and determine if they're ready to go to trial or if they need more time before a trial goes forward. If you need more time, whether it's the prosecutor needs more time or your attorney or you need more time, you get a new pretrial conference date and you get a new trial date. And that continues up until the point when eventually your case either gets resolved with settlement or you actually go to trial and a jury or the judge determines whether you're guilty or innocent and then imposes sentence if you're found guilty or lets you go if you're found innocent. At every one of these stages, a good attorney is going to be able to do something for you. If, for example, you're not ready for trial, but the state is ready for trial, the prosecutor is, they may want to push it to trial against your wishes, and a good attorney will be able to explain to the judge why additional time is needed. During negotiations, he's going to speak for your best interest to make sure the negotiations go as favorably for you as possible. And then obviously in trial, as I'm sure you've seen on TV or you've known about just generally, having a good attorney can make all the difference in the world.